So, in comparison to men, if men are getting these, then why are we so behind economically?
We're not.
We're not. The problem is,
So what's the average? What's the average salary
no.
for
I'm gonna answer you.
realistically speaking? What's the average salary?
So the
Shan,
average salary for black men, we're I think that only people that we're higher than are Mexican men, Mexican women. The average salary for black women has you guys at the bottom.
I didn't say black women. I said since you're saying get the same jobs as black men.
Well, that's why.
What is the average salary for as far as economically the black men who have these jobs that you're promoting for us to get? How well are they doing economically?
I'll get you the statistics shortly, but I'll tell you that a guy who is a pipe fitter or a welder with his 3-month trade school is making more money than a school teacher did with her 6-year master's degree.
I get it, but
give me a second.
So let me the reason why
Will, real quick, because I just want to get
Shane, you comparing us to the other races.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm comparing you to
no.
So if, for example, if you're seeing welders, how many black men are welders? Percentage of black men who are certified welders.
Okay, listen, I'm not gonna. One second, guys. I'm not gonna get into it because I understand what she's trying to.
Lord,
we're not gonna get into
my question.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not gonna avoid it. One of these brothers could answer that question. I'm just gonna say this part because your question is, if black men are going into trades and they're not into student loan debt, then why as a community are we behind? It's a simple question. It's a simple answer that I'll give you. Okay. The reason why we're behind is because.
So I know the trope is, women weaponize their degrees and whatever. But one of the things that I always notice when a topic like this come up, that everyone goes to the trope of these BS degrees that black women are getting and can't get any money in. And I know that is just something that people will continue to regurgitate without actually looking up what these degrees that black women are getting, because it's not basket weaving, all of that stuff that they try to downplay.
I'll put the link in the chat.
Downplay. So when I looked it up, the top 3 fields that black women are that are getting their degrees are in health profession and related programs like public health administration, stuff like that, in nursing, whatever. Next one, business and management. Next one, social science. Just ask for the top 3, social sciences and psychology. All of those fields are fields in which you can make decent money in. The problem that I have is that I think a lot of times when we're in situations where we're defending, the fact that we even have to defend education is beyond me. But just this ideology about black women weaponize their education. I'm gonna ask y'all to explain that to me because I really don't understand what that means. But let me finish my thought. The fact that when we're talking about this, the first go-to is the debt and they getting BS degrees and getting all of these, raising the debt. But when we look at debt overall, you can look that up too, unless it's changed from the last time I looked. Black men, when we're comparing black men and black women in regards to debt, black men carry more debt than black women. Okay. And if we're going to look at the type of debt that we're getting, I would definitely choose educational debt over just consumer debt, getting cars, getting things that's not going to necessarily bring you value. So, and in terms of having a plan to pay off these degrees that women are earning, kind of like what Hank said, as a man, I don't want to have to take on all of that debt. Well, part of what you could do is help with researching ways in which that debt can be paid off, because there are so many programs. I am a recipient of one of those that came into a marriage without student loans because of the program that I entered. So the debt should not be something that deters you when there are so many opportunities to get a degree for free. The other thing is that I think men don't necessarily know how to leverage a woman's education when they say, oh, how is that going to do anything for my family? How is that going to teach you how to be a wife? There are aspects within the education field that you are, well, within the field that you get your education in that can always be applied to a home, can always be applied to your duty as what you're doing or responsibilities in a home. My mom, she never went to college, but one of the things she was great at was English. And she utilized that strength of that part of what she can do into her family. We came in kindergarten learning how to read. Right. All of those things, because that was her area of specialty. My degree has definitely helped me in my profession in dealing with my children and dealing with my husband. It's just the aspect of y'all not knowing how to leverage those things within your home. And so to answer your question, no, I did not go into debt, lost in translation. I actually entered a program that paid for my degrees for me.
Ms. Tiggle, can I ask you a question?
Most people are look, you can file bankruptcy on consumer debt. You can't do that on student loans. And that ain't going on.
Hank, but before we even get there, are you because you just say it confidently? You said that black men have more debt than black women, and
they don't.
And you said specifically.
I said, play it back. I said the last time I looked up, when I looked it up, it was saying that overall, in terms of men versus women in their debt, that men typically have higher debt than women.
And if you look it up,
we're about to validate that in just one second. Okay, because I just want to understand like that we can.
Black men have not had more debt than black women in the past 15 years. So
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Wait, because both of y'all was talking, so I didn't hear.
The study that she looked at must have been at least 16 years old, because black women have led the consumer debt and student loan debt for the past 15 years.
No, I agree with the student loan. I'm okay with that.
And the consumer debt as well. And consumer debt is higher than student loan debt. So the study that she must have looked at had to have been at least 16 years old, because for the past 15, black women have been leading the way when it comes to all forms of debt in our community. So, and one of the reasons of that is, though, more black women are credit worthy than black men. So there is a large subset of those women because they have bank accounts, they have income where they get W-2s from, and then more importantly, they're going out here seeking those debts. While, for example, Shan and Miss Taken, when they go to a store, they're going to ask them, hey, do you want to sign up for this Victoria's Secret credit card? Do you want to sign up for this Bath and Body Works credit card? When me and you go to Foot Locker, they're not asking us to sign up for no credit card. Or when we go to GameStop, where we get our games at the gun store, there are no credit cards like that for us. So when it comes to those, there's several factors that are going to actually add to it. But to say that black men lead consumer debt has not been true for at least the past 15 years. And if you go back 15 years, you probably also notice that that's probably when the internet was just now getting big with Google, and where all of these numbers are being quantified. So I would say that it goes back further.
I have a question.
The reason that this was so important to me is because we can build the entire foundation of our argument on something that's like not true, which can like negate everything that we said after that. Which is why I just wanted to highlight, and point that out. But Shan, I wanted to the ladies on the panel, because I want us to actually, make some strides in this argument. Like I think that the entire thing that men are saying about women in education is it typically comes with a bit of hubris, right? When women, become educated and they get the degree, it's not about what they got from the degree. It's about having that paper to a lot of people. And I think it might come from our families for the most part. A lot of our families just wanted us to go to school. They didn't care what we went for. But a lot of our parents just want to be able to say, my kid is doing something. My kid's in school. Look, my son got this bachelor's degree, right? And I think a lot of black women have adopted that mindset and just kind of are just pushing it forward. But what we're saying is, you have a degree, but you get the degree so that you can make money. You get the degree so that you can take it and use and do things with it. But a lot of people are just like, I got the paper, I'm good. Like, and a lot of people realize like, yo, I got this paper, now I don't know what to do. But I'm still able to make myself sound on paper like I have something going on. And that's what a lot of people want, is just to sound like they got something going on. But are you actually intelligent? Because we want women who are intelligent. We don't. having a degree and being an intelligent are like worlds apart. Anybody can go and do their homework and do what they told and the hand and stuff. But are you intelligent? Are you competent? There's so many people with the paperwork that aren't intelligent. So like even within this conversation, I'd rather just say college educated versus educated, if that makes sense.
Can I ask a question?
Well, so Ms. Taken did mention that one of the degrees is in business. So for an example, one of those bullshit degrees is and I just recently heard a couple women say this on a podcast where they have entrepreneurship degrees. You know, what type of degree is that to where that's something that you can utilize, especially if you don't have your own business, if you're not doing consulting. Even in that case, there's so many other degrees that you can get in that field that you wouldn't have to go to school to get a sheet of paper to say that you can be an entrepreneur. And she had multiple degrees on top of the entrepreneur degree. So there are bullshit degrees in those categories that you just spoke on, for sure.
Just look at how much black women earn on an annual basis.
Well, most black women are not.
If you look at college educated black women and you see how much those women earn, that's where I say the degrees are bullshit, because they're still struggling. They go into debt to get these degrees they can't make money in and won't make money in for the foreseeable future. So they're left to struggle for the 4 to 5 to 6 years that it takes for them to actually like finish and become, have experience in their fields. So for those 4 to 8 years where they're earning experience to become senior or professional in their degrees, they're struggling. Those student debts aren't getting paid, which also affects every other thing that I mentioned, as far as like you guys buy more homes, but you also guys foreclose on more. You guys have more, you get more credit, but you guys carry more debt. There's causality between any of those, and I'm not going to be obtuse and say that I can't understand where they're coming from. But the part where the only time that we're attacking the idea that black women education is valuable when it comes to them making a better partner for a man. That's the only argument that I have as far as that's concerned.
I have a question. So can you tell me good jobs that women can get without an education?
Several. The same ones men can.
Like what?
They can go to the military. They can start their own business. They can become a lash tech. I mean, those guys make money. They can learn how to do nails. Those are all certification programs. They can pick up a trade. They can become plumbers.
Trade is college, is it not?
No, it's not.
No.
That's why they have trade schools and they have colleges.
Yeah. Trade schools. To my brother's point, trade schools, you pay a one-time fee. So you could go to trade school to be a painter or carpenter or whatever the case is. They'll tell you it's $7,000. You pay that $7,000. You get your certificate. You get your license. You're good to go to make money as soon as you're finished.
Yeah, they can become a mechanic, a pipe. They can become a mechanic, a pipe fitter, a welder, and all of these jobs pay at least $50 an hour. So there is no. So to answer your question, they can go get the same jobs that men go get. They just choose not to because they're not easy.
I have a question. So in comparison to men, if men are getting these, then why are we so behind economically?
We're not.
We're not. The problem is.
So what's the average salary?
No. I'm gonna answer.
Realistically speaking, what's the average salary?
So the average salary for black men, we're I think that only people that we're higher than are Mexican men, Mexican women. The average salary for black women has you guys at the bottom.
I didn't say black women. I said since you're saying get the same jobs as black men.
Well, that's why.
What's the average salary for as far as economically the black men who have these jobs that you're promoting for us to get? How well are they doing economically?
I'll get you the statistics shortly, but I'll tell you that a guy who is a pipe fitter or a welder with his 3-month trade school is making more money than a school teacher did with her 6-year master's degree.
I get it, but
give me a second.
So let me the reason why
real quick, because I just want to get
Shane, you comparing us to the other races.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm comparing you to
no.
So for example, if you're seeing welders, how many black men are welders? Percentage of black men who are certified welders.
Okay, listen, I'm not gonna. One second, guys. I'm not gonna get into it because I understand what she's trying.
Lord,
we're not gonna get into
my question.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not gonna avoid it. One of these brothers could answer that question. I'm just going to say this part because your question is, if Black men are going into trades and they're not into student loan debt, then why as a community are we behind? It's a simple question. It's a simple answer that I'll give you. Okay. The reason why we're behind is because we're not unified. Families is how you build a community. So if a woman is not willing to commit to a man, no matter what job he has, it doesn't matter what he's doing, as long as it's not criminal, I would say that, as long as it's not criminal, then as a community, we can't grow. So it doesn't matter what he's doing. This man could be a manager at a grocery store. Okay. If you marry that person or that man and you want to go 4 years and do your degree and then come back with debt and you don't even use your degree. Most people on this panel have a degree or some sort of a college. I'm not gonna say the guys, but definitely most women have a degree. You guys are not even in the field that you went for your degree. So it was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. So regardless of your well, what did you go to college?
Yes,
Shannon, did you go to college
for the same thing?
What did you go to college for? Where'd you go to college for?
He's right though. Most people don't work in the field.
They don't use their degree. Most people don't. I have 6 siblings and I have cousins. They all went to school for something and they're not in the field that they went to school for. I've never went to college and I make more money than all my siblings. All my siblings.
Do you think that you're an exception, or do you think that
that's majority? Bill Gates never went to college.
Most
Bill Gates is an exception.
Wait,
no, all of them.
The majority of millionaires,
rich guys never went to school.
Millionaires aren't college educated.
So I'm not saying that there's a problem. Let me just say this: I'm not saying there's a problem with college. I know that trade is well if you complete the trade. The reason why I say, because we love to say welders, and I say this every time. We love to say plumbers. We love to say electricians. But how many of us are master electricians, master plumbers, the people who actually make the money? Because that's a 4-year program. Sometimes if you're in electrical work, it's 5 to 7 years. Look it up.
Listen, Hank just answered. Hank, sorry, brother. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right. Hank or Hank. I'm sorry if I'm saying it.
How many years does it take to be a master plumber?
2 years.
It takes 2 years to get your plumber certification.
No, I said master plumber. The person
that takes experience.
Yeah, don't move the goalposts.
You got to get so many work hours in order to get your master's. That's what it's all about. You got to get your work hours in.
Absolutely.
And it might not take another 2 or 3 or 4 years. It may take another.
How many Black men do you think are master plumbers? A percentage.
A lot.
That's a different scenario. So
the argument that she's making is
that we don't have some underachievers.